Oh yes, it's time for yet another ST arcade conversion, but this time it's not published by Ocean. It's Afterburner, published by Activision in 1988 and developed by Argonaut Software, who also made Starglider 1 and 2. And those games were pretty impressive, so that should induce some hope about the ST version of Afterburner, but I don't think I've heard much good about this version, so yeah, I'm not gonna hold my breath for this one. And this is of course based on the arcade game, which is another Sega Super Scaler game, and it was released in 1988, the year after Outrun was released. And the superpower of the Super Scaler hardware was of course that it could scale and rotate sprites, many sprites, very quickly, which was used very effectively in Outrun, but also in Super Hang-On and others. Or I think it was just called Hang-On, actually. It was released in 85. And I do believe that was the first game using the Super Scaler tech. And I believe the game is running on a board called the Sega X board, and it was developed by the Sega AM2 team led by Yu Suzuki. And according to the wiki, Suzuki was inspired by the film Laputa, Castle in the Sky. And apparently he wanted to make the game look similarly as the film, but yeah, that didn't turn out. And it also turned out a bit more violent than Castle in the Sky, I would say. And what you're watching right now is actually footage from the Afterburner 2 game, not the first one. And this is, I think, very similar to the first game, just kind of improved. Added a couple of levels, changed some enemy patterns and some other things. And I also believe this is the version that the home conversions were based on, but they were still called just Afterburner, not Afterburner 2, which is a bit confusing. And of course, Game Machine listed Afterburner in August 1987 as the most popular arcade game of that month. But I don't think it outsold Outrun, that was released the year before. But of course, overall, Afterburner was a big success all over the world. And sadly, I never got to play the arcade version. I really wanted to, but I never came across it. It just looked so amazing, and it of course had these sit-down cabinets that would shake you around, and that just sounded amazing. But of course, they also made standard cabinets without the moving parts of this one. And I don't think I ever played the ST version of this, at least I don't have any memories of it, so I'm a bit curious. So let's just fearlessly dive into Afterburner on the ST, shall we? Pretty nice looking loading screen, and the loading is pretty lengthy with this game. And this artwork is of course inspired by the cover art and the ad and that poster that you saw before. And did you notice in the poster that everything was shaking? It had shake lines. It seemed like they were very keen to explain to you, yeah, hey, this game is shaky. Or at least the arcade version was the sit-down cab. The ST version, I don't know if it's going to make my office chair quake, but let's hope that it will do that. And they've got some music and some other stuff. And we also get the Afterburner 2 rotating balls logo thing, which was in the arcade. That's pretty neat. It's maybe a little bit choppy, but hey, cool stuff. I approve. Here we are. We can have music or sound effects at the same time, so let's try that and let's just press fire. I think we control the game with the mouse, so that's pretty neat. Maybe. We'll see. And it starts straight away. Nice. So here we go. Oh yeah. And we are firing automatically, of course, which is kind of confusing. And we do have sample sound effects, which of course would have blown me away back in the day. What are you talking about? I'm always careful. And we fire off missiles as well if we get a lock. Get that kind of lock on, I think. But I'm not sure if... please. Oh yeah, this is kind of wonky. The frame rate is definitely... not amazing, and I'm not sure if I'm getting a lock on at all, am I? Oh, there we go.
Careful, 9 o'clock.
Okay, careful, 9 o'clock, whoa! It's a little bit weird that you have auto fire, but I suppose... yeah, never mind. Doesn't really make a huge difference. Oh, okay. I didn't get a refueling animation there, which is a bit of a bummer. I think if you want to spin around, I think you just go left or right and press fire or something like that, or press the fire button several times. But oh my god, it's not quite reliable. And the frame rate is just, oh god awful. I think they should have gone with vector graphics instead. That they knew how to do that. Argonaut was awesome when it came to making polygonal games. Back in the day, at least. Oops. But sprite-based stuff, maybe not so much. This is really damn choppy. It's nice that you get samples, and I'm not sure why I'm not hitting those helicopters, but yeah, it's all rather confusing, and I'm not sure why I'm doing the barrel roll. Do a barrel roll. It's just doing it without me really wanting to, but hey, it's cool, I guess. I would have been, I think, fairly impressed by this back in the day, although again it's damn choppy and response from the mouse isn't absolutely great, and I can't really. Could you fire? Oh, I've run out of missiles. Yeah, well, never mind. I'll be. What the? Okay, that was slightly jarring. What am I? Yeah, okay. I'm just hanging out, getting some more missiles and fuel. I'm not sure how they transfer the missiles. Maybe it's teleportation technology. Don't know.
Careful, 3 o'clock.
Yeah, okay, careful, 3 o'clock. Jesus. My poor aching frame rate. And am I up in the clouds, or what is going on there? Is this like transparent bushes? Yeah, this is pretty damn confusing, and I must say it's not super impressive. It's really choppy. Maybe I would have been a little bit like, okay, this is decently cool if I hadn't seen the arcade version. Careful, careful. What am I supposed to be afraid of here? Because I can't see anything. It's just a 9 o'clock. It's always 9 o'clock, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know how I'm supposed to see the missiles or whatever. It's just confusing. 9 o'clock again, I see. Well, let's just do a barrel roll again. And it seems like it's pretty hard to crash or die. It's just like a... Oh, God, what is going on? I'm not doing anything, and the game is basically playing itself, it feels. Is this a demo? Yeah, 3 o'clock. So there's 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock, and we have pixels on the ground. I presume this is bushes or something, and something else? Let's just leave it to the imagination. I'm gonna go with bushes and pillars. I kind of understand why they had, in the screenshots in the ads, they had the refueling sequence, because that looks kind of cool. Because right now this doesn't look amazing. It seems like they absolutely wanted to have this run on a 0.5 meg machine, so they probably didn't have that much space for the pre-scale graphics, right?
Be careful, be careful.
Careful, yeah, okay, I'll be careful. Oh, landing sequence? Yeah, and I don't need to do anything, I just enjoy these magnificent graphics. This looks pretty cool, actually. Yeah, give me those sweet missiles. And please, be quick about it. I haven't got all day. I've got shrubberies to murder. Oh, there's that bike, dude. I think that's the bike from Hang On, right? At least in the arcade, you can actually kind of see that. Here it's not as clear, but I think it's the bike from Hang On. And we are now in the Arctic somewhere, maybe, or I don't know. Let's be careful and let's do a barrel roll, because that seems to just keep me very, very safe. And am I hitting anything? And why am I doing barrel rolls like every 3 seconds? I don't want to. Maybe I misunderstood the instructions. Oh, I actually got hit. Oh, again, things are starting to get a little bit more difficult. What is... Okay. And we have speed as well. I think that was another difference between the Afterburner 1 and 2, the arcade version. I think they added a way to change your speed. And I presume we can do that. I'm not sure how, though. I don't think it's the mouse buttons anyway. Probably some sort of button combination. Maybe space? No. So, the all-important question is this fun? No, not really. I mean, would it have been fun back in the day? Maybe. A bit more fun than today, that's for sure, because this just feels pretty choppy. I'm not even sure if an improved frame rate would have helped here, because it's just, yeah, a little bit uneventful. But I mean, I think that was kind of a problem with the arcade version as well. It looked so cool, but gameplay-wise, I don't know. But of course, it's a bit hard for me to say. I've never really played the arcade version, except in MAME. I presume playing with the sit-down cabinet, that would be pretty damn awesome. And I would probably not have cared one tiny bit about gameplay. It's just like, yeah, let's push that jet engine to the max and just blow everything out of the skies. Yeah, that would probably be enough for me to be pretty happy, and most other kids at the time. And again, I'm basically just not doing much here, and oh, we get to blast stuff. That's fun on the ground. We are destroying a local trailer park, maybe? Let's hope not. Or camping park, or whatever they call it. I don't know. This looks very precarious, I must say. This angle. The way I'm flying. Oh, man. So, guys, is it supposed to be this easy? I mean, I've been hit by stuff, a couple of times, but wow, thanks a bunch for giving me time to get out of the way there. Then now I can't... Wow. Yeah. Is it maybe an on-rails shooter, maybe? Did I misunderstand things? I mean, the SD version? I love the 9 o'clock, woo! Okay, where's Santa Claus? I want to blow him out of the skies here. It's even hard seeing if the missiles actually hit anything, and that one was miles away. But they do come up from behind. I do remember seeing that in the arcade game. Okay, I shall try. Oh, something got me. Oh, game over. Wow, I've been playing for about almost 10 minutes and I have made no effort, and I think this is probably pretty easy to finish, right? And I think I'm done. I think I've seen enough of this. It's not great. I mean, back in the day I would probably have been a bit more impressed and maybe enjoyed some play sessions with this one, but yeah, it feels a little bit too weak. But maybe I'm being too picky. But let's have a look at a couple of reviews before we end, shall we? And ST User gave the game an overall of 7 out of 10, and Nick Outerside wrote, "Pre-release hype launched this game to #1 spot in the Gallup charts. But to be honest, Afterburner is nothing very special. There are equally good fight arcade games around, and if you want a dedicated flight simulator, look no further than Falcon." Very true indeed, I would say. And the other reviewers wrote, "The arcade version had a moving seat and joystick which added a feeling of reality. Without these, Afterburner has little to offer that has not been seen many times before." Also quite true. Yeah, those shake lines on the cover art didn't really help to make this a more immersive experience on the SD. The Games Machine was very unimpressed and awarded the game a TGM Trash Award, and they wrote, "With Argonaut Software's programming pedigree, 16-bit versions looked set to be superb. They're not. There is no impression of high speed, confusing graphics make firing and dodging missiles tricky, and mystifyingly jerky plane moves kills all emotions of being there. Graphic feature primitive bushes and unreal runways, but radar towers and trees are nicely detailed. Urgent vocal messages are included, but they add little to play." And it's interesting to see in the same review the Spectrum version gets an overall of 83%, so the Spectrum version is better than the SD version and the Amiga version, I believe, which is kind of sad. And also at the same time impressive, there were quite a few arcade games that just weren't meant to run on a Spectrum, and they were still fun to play. It's kind of interesting that they just couldn't get that to happen on the SD, which had lots more power. Hope you enjoyed this quick peek at Afterburner, and as always, hope to catch you next time. Cheers!